discipling that he needs, the fellowship that he needs. And you know, what I find amazing with him is how, you know, that one book, The Pilgrim's Progress, ends up having such a huge influence on Christianity as a whole. You know, even though, because he's a Baptist, you know, he himself was shunned and disliked, but the truth, I mean, that allegory that he wrote is I mean, I love it. I've read it several times in my life. You know, it's certainly worth reading if you never have. You know, I think it's one of those books that every Christian should have, is The Pilgrim's Progress. You know, and like I say, there came to be a point here where, you know, I mean, you could pretty much expect to find, you know, on the bookshelf on every home in America, you know, from the 1700s forward, along with the Bible, there was The Pilgrim's Progress was usually right there next to it. You know, and you'll find that book referred to by many Protestants, you know, who hated Baptists. Yeah. You know, when we get into talking about our Bible that God provided for us, it came to us via Protestants. You know, and the reason why is if God had used the Baptists, the Christians, to produce it, they would have rejected it out of hand. You know, so that's why, you know, that's why it was brought that way. The Protestant Reformation, one of the key purposes in God's control of things and the God's moving of things with the Protestant Reformation was to give us his words perfectly preserved in the English language. If he had used the Anabaptists, if he had used the Christians, the Waldensians, any of the, whatever name they wanted to plaster on them at the time, they would have rejected it out of hand. They already were, because they were already translating, okay, the Receptus into local languages. You know, those are the same texts that were being used, though, by guys like Tyndale and Luther and so forth to produce their works, and they were Protestants. They were from inside the Church of Rome. Okay? And that's one of the things why people, you know, it's like I said, I can remember hearing a sermon from Jack Hyles back before he changed his position on things, you know, saying, you know, no baby baptizing Protestants are going to give me the Word of God. Well, yes, they did. And that's the reason why they did. And he eventually changed his position on that, understanding what God had done and why he had done it. And we'll get into that eventually here. We're gonna discuss as part of this you know, history of the New Testament church, the process that God used to give us his word for these last days. So I'm going to stop there for this morning. Hit that. Any questions, comments?